Across the vast African savanna, where the wind carries dust and forewarning, life is defined by confrontations as brief as they are brutal. Here, hierarchy is enforced through teeth and scars, and every territory is defended as though it were the last. Beneath the unrelenting sun, tension can erupt without a moment's notice. Today, that balance breaks with an unexpected scene. 4 male lions advance with steady purpose, closing in around a solitary hyena. The difference in force appears overwhelming. Muscle against endurance, dominance against defiance. Every sign points toward a predictable outcome, but on the savanna, appearances have a way of deceiving. Because even an isolated predator carries experience, instinct, and a determination forged by necessity. The hyena is not merely an opportunist, it is a strategist, patient and capable of enduring far more than most would expect. And so the inevitable question rises, is this an ending already written? Or will the savanna prove once again that no victory is ever guaranteed? Across the sweeping plains of Sabi Sand, where dawn tears through the night mist and lays bare the quiet yet merciless pulse of African nature, 4 silhouettes of male lions emerge on the horizon like shadows carved by golden light. They do not form a traditional pride, they do not share the same bloodline, but united they are a force capable of altering the destiny of this entire untamed land. They are known by a name the wind carries through the tall grass, the Night Storm Coalition. Rekor, Hansari, Matanu, Orok. 4 names that ring like a forewarning, 4 wills fused into a rising power. In the unforgiving world of male lions, alliances are not a luxury, they are the boundary between permanence and oblivion. A solitary male rarely holds territory for long, but a group even of just 4 can tip the balance of an entire ecosystem. Their thick manes are far more than adornment. They shield the throat in combat, absorb the force of rival charges, and signal maturity and dominance. Their roars, deep and resonant, carry up to 8 kilometers across the open land, delivering an unmistakable message to the savannah. This territory has new contenders for the throne. Rakor had wandered the eastern reaches for months, hardened by silent disputes. Hansari grew up among the thickets near the Sand River, learning to move between shadow and reed. Matanu forged himself by watching powerful buffalo herds absorbing the meaning of collective strength. Arok endured the cruelest dry seasons when hunger turns every decision into a matter of life or death. Nothing seemed to bind them except necessity. And in the life of lions, necessity is the strongest foundation any coalition can have. On a still night, beneath a sky thick with stars, their paths converged at a crossing of dusty trails. There were no claws drawn, no defiant roars, only long, cautious gazes and that ancient instinct that recognizes the advantage of cooperation. It was a silent pact, sealed not with blood, but with understanding. Throughout generations, Sabi Sand has witnessed many coalitions rise and fall. But few have moved with the speed and determination of Nightstorm. They do not seek territory alone. They pursue a future. They know that controlling the most fertile zones of the plains means securing offspring, carrying their lineage forward, and carving their names into the wild memory of this place. Today they press into the land they intend to call home. Tufts of grass tremble beneath their advance. Ahead of them, suspended in the golden dust, drifting through the cold morning air, stands a collective colossus, a herd of Cape buffalo. The giants of the plains take up their defensive formation, heads lowered, horns curved like sharpened crescents. A living wall of muscle and resolve. Each exhaled breath dissolves into thin wisps of mist. For most predators, the Cape buffalo represents the final frontier of the savanna, a challenge reserved only for those with strength, strategy, and unbreakable will. But today, the Nightstorm Coalition is not pursuing easy prey. They are sending a message. Four coordinated males are not simply hunters, they are a declaration of power. This confrontation is not merely a hunt, it is a solemn announcement to all of Sabi-Sand. They have arrived and they have no intention of leaving. As the sun climbs and heat begins to ripple across the Sabi-Sand plain, the buffalo herd moves toward more open ground. The exposed terrain reduces the risk of ambush, but it also reveals vulnerabilities. That is when the lions act. Rakor strikes first, powerful and direct, breaking the formation like a living battering ram. His charge forces several buffalo to veer off course, fracturing the defensive wall for a critical instant. Hansari slides in behind him like a precise shadow. Matanu and Orok close the angles, preventing the gap from sealing. In the chaos of dust and hooves, one buffalo stumbles, loses its footing, and falls. The thunder cuts out abruptly. Silence settles over the plain like a heavy shroud. Nightstorm has prevailed. But the savannah never stays silent for long. The metallic scent of fresh blood spreads rapidly, traveling on invisible currents. Before long, a sharp and piercing laughter rises from the horizon. Spotted hyenas approaching, led by adult females larger than the lionesses themselves. Hyenas are masters of opportunity. They have no need to prove themselves through prolonged chases. They know how to wait. The clan spreads into a crescent formation, pressing the four males with calculated choreography. They laugh, grunt, and emit low guttural murmurs. Every sound communicates numbers, intent, and confidence. This is not recklessness. It is pure strategy. They are more numerous, yes, but the lions possess size, raw power, and a determination tempered by the necessity that first brought them together. Today, the balance tilts toward Nightstorm. After minutes of contained tension, locked stares, lateral steps, rigid tails, the hyenas gradually withdraw and dissolve back into the brush. They are not abandoning the meal. They are simply waiting for a more favorable moment. On the plain, the coalition lowers its heads once more over the Cape Buffalo, unhurried, composed. They know the threat will return. In Sabi Sand, every species always comes back. Not far away, another story begins. A pack of African wild dogs sets off across the grass like a fluid, coordinated current. Lean but resilient, quiet but purposeful, they are considered the most efficient predators on the continent. Their lightweight frames, long legs, and large ears, constantly rotating to catch the faintest sound, allow them to sustain high speeds over extended distances, wearing prey down with tireless precision. Their true strength, however, lies not in speed alone, but in family. Within their social structure, only the alpha female reproduces, yet the entire pack participates in raising the young. Food is shared with the pup's meat, regurgitated to ensure their growth. Each litter can exceed 10 pups, and it is this total cooperation that underpins their survival in a savanna where competition never relents. While Nightstorm consolidates its dominance through raw force and commanding presence, the wild dogs thrive through collective discipline and unwavering loyalty. Two distinct strategies, two different paths toward permanence. Across the vast expanse of Sabi Sand, the struggle for balance continues, written each day in dust, in sacrifice, and in the unbreakable will to endure. A young impala separates from the herd and pauses beneath the thin shade of a sparse shrub, seeking a moment of rest that the savanna rarely grants. In an instant, the wild dog pack shifts its pace from an easy trot into a perfectly synchronized hunting formation. There is no confusion, no noise, only pure coordination. As the impala loses speed, the circle closes with surgical precision. The hunt concludes cleanly, a flawless demonstration of a cooperative strategy built on endurance and teamwork. But the savanna never stays calm for long. The scent of blood rises and travels on the wind like an inevitable signal. Within minutes, the sharp laughter of hyenas breaks the silence from the edge of the thicket. It is the same group of females that challenged the Nightstorm Coalition only hours before. They advance with the quiet confidence of those who have mastered the art of opportunistic theft, backed by numbers and experience. Their approach is slow and measured, but impossible to ignore. The wild dog pack reacts immediately, pulling together into a tight circle around the pups. In that brief space between the instinct to hold the kill and a conscious choice, one priority rises above all others: family. One by one, the dogs withdraw. Protecting the pack will always outweigh defending the food. The hyenas surge forward and within seconds claim the impala carcass as their own. Their laughter rings out once more as dust rises around them. The relentless cycle of Sabi Sand rolls on. Every victory is fleeting. Every defeat carries a lesson, and survival is written at a pace that is fast, silent, and merciless. As afternoon fades, a pale golden light spreads across the dry earth. The tall grasses sway gently in the breeze, and the savanna seems to exhale. The Nightstorm Coalition moves along the trail left by the buffalo hunt, marking trees and pathways with fresh scent.